Okay, we've got our drum and bass session here from our engineer, and the first thing we want to do before we start looking at making a comp is to save it as a new project name or a new session file name. So let's save this as drum comp. Seems pretty appropriate. Great. Now, before we get into that, we need to have a look at a little bit of navigation. So first thing we want to do is look at the track headers over here, and we want to make sure that our track heights are at least set to small. So to do that, if you hold down Option and then click on the track ruler here and then select small, that will take all of our tracks to the same small height. Remember, when we press Option or hold Option in Pro Tools, that's going to do whatever operation you're doing to everything. So do to all. If you go any smaller than small, say mini, we get a little bit less information on the track header here. So what we want is at least small, or you can hold down Option as well and click and drag to increase the size or decrease the size of the tracks. We're going to look at this wave option here. So this is our track view selector. When you click on that, we can see we have a few different options here for the different types of things that we can view in our track. Usually set to or defaults to waveform, so that means we can see the waveform here in the edit area. If I switch to blocks, you'll see that you just simply get blocks where the clips are with no waveform representation. We have playlists, which is what we're going to focus on and come back to in a moment. We've got waveform, as we said, volume automation, volume trim automation, mute automation, panning automation, and then automation for any other plugins or sends that you might have associated with that track. One easy shortcut and one good one to note is that if you select a track, either by clicking on the track header, or if you have edit and track if you have linking timeline and edit selection enabled, you can click on the track you wish to edit and then press the minus button on your computer keyboard. You can see that's going to toggle backwards and forth between waveform view and volume view or volume automation. So that's really useful. Another way you can move around them is by holding down Control and Command on a Mac keyboard, and left and right arrows will take you through or cycle through the different options. So you can see here we start at block, and if I go to the right, we get playlists, then wave, volume, trim, mute, pan, and then any of your sends or plugin automation you have there. So that's by holding Control and Command again. And notice that it's working within our groups as well. So all of these drum tracks are changing at the same time because they are grouped. If I ungroup them, so turn off the group here, and then select one of the tracks, you'll notice that only that track is changing. Even with them ungrouped, if I select multiple tracks, and then let's try toggling back to the wave view or wave view with the minus key, you can see here. So it does work outside the groups as well with multiple selected tracks. The grouping just helps you make those track selections more quickly. And that's track views.